So the Senate, was this yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, now voted to endorse, in many respects, it's an endorsement of the War Powers Act. I mean, it is well overdue. A resolution to end support for the Saudi-led coalition in Yemen, saying that we should not be supporting the slaughter of civilians that is taking place in the context of this so-called civil war. We should not be supporting the embargo, et cetera, et cetera. This will, despite the fact that it was originally a House resolution that the Senate picked up, the Republicans managed to interfere with it enough procedurally to send it back to the House. I suspect that it's going to pass again in the House. No reason to believe that it will be less this time around. Mike Pompeo, very upset, though. Very upset because, well, let's hear Mike Pompeo complain that the U.S. Senate has actually acted upon their role under the War Powers Act to resolve that we should not be involved in this Yemen conflict.
I'd like to comment on the Senate vote this week to end support for the Saudi-led coalition fighting in Yemen. We all want this conflict to end. We all want to improve the dire humanitarian situation. But the Trump administration fundamentally disagrees that curbing our assistance to the Saudi-led coalition is the way to achieve these goals. The senators who voted aye say they want to end the bombing in Yemen and support human rights. But we really need to think about whose human rights. If you truly care about Yemeni lives, you'd support the Saudi-led effort to prevent Yemen from turning into a puppet state of the corrupt, brutish Islamic Republic of Iran. If we truly care about Saudi lives, you'd want to stop Iran-backed Houthis from launching missiles.
Pause it for 1 second. I mean, just what's stunning as you hear this, and for those people who have not read into this conflict, and you would really have to have really not read into this conflict to know what he's saying, how audacious these lies are. How audacious these lies are. First of all, it is a humanitarian crisis what this has caused. Like the possibility of greater death amongst the Yemeni people, it's hard to imagine. And the idea that this has in any way mitigated this war is stunning.
No, I mean, it's actually, you could translate it as you should have a genocidal campaign. And we can actually on the border of legitimately use that word if you include like cholera epidemics and food shortages to undermine Iran.
But that's point two. We haven't even gotten there. That's point two.
Well, no, he's saying so it doesn't become an Islamic Republic.
The point two is the idea that Iran is in any really sort of like seriously material way associated with supporting the Houthi efforts is debunked by any reasonable individual.
The Houthis have existed for a very long time, have their own independent power base, and if anything, the relationship between the Iranians and the Houthis has been actually like it is a more true statement today than it was in the beginning of 2015. But they are not Hezbollah at all in terms of depending on Iranians to operate.
This is just the most disingenuous display of supporting the mass murder of people that I think, we've seen in quite a long time.
This is a coalition. I mean, just want to remind people. Do you remember how a couple of months ago the Saudis bombed a school bus, and it was relevant for a couple reasons. Because one was I think it was a General Dynamics bomb or maybe a Lockheed bomb, and this was the same time they were doing like we're supporting girls to go into sciences campaign, right. And the Saudis, who normally don't publicly comment on their daily murder and slaughter campaign, they came out and they were just like, yeah, that was a mistake because what happens is we thought there were two people in the bus that weren't in the bus. So sorry about that.
Yeah, no.
I mean, they basically literally were like, the subtext was obvious.
Let's listen to the rest of this. It's disgusting.
If we truly care about Saudi lives, you'd want to stop Iran-backed Houthis from launching missiles into Riyadh. If you truly care about Arab lives in the region, you'd support allied efforts to prevent Iran from extending its authoritarian rule from Tehran to the Mediterranean Sea and on down to Yemen. And if we truly care about American lives and livelihoods and the lives and livelihoods of people all around the world, you'd understand that Iran and its proxies cannot be allowed to control the shipping lanes that abut Yemen.
Wow. So,
And also
sorry,
leave the
sorry,
Saudis
Yemeni
alone.
children. Sorry, Yemeni children. Shouldn't have had your shipping lanes abutting Iran. You're going to pay for that. All right.